as we continue to look at how this man here, Ronan Flynn, how his extradition warrant and European arrest warrant disappeared, we always want to obviously encourage and engage with those people who contact Aaron's campaign pages. And as always, when people ask questions, pose questions, and put stuff out there, it invariably always comes back to the fact that the Justice for Aaron Brady campaign is telling the truth, and it continuously, the jigsaw pieces fall into place and everything makes sense in regards of Aaron's story. So just going to have a quick look at a couple of text messages, but just one in particular. I just put these three up, but we're going to look at the third one in particular. I hope the Flynns will come forward and redeem themselves by doing the right thing. So obviously we concur with that, and it is an option for this family to do exactly that. My heart, my prayers stay with you, stay strong. From Christine Dowie 2859. Christine, thank you so much. And to all the people who send us messages of support, very much appreciated, and it is very, very important. It gives us strength to carry on, because we know there's people out there who understand the miscarriage of justice and the terrible wrong that has been forced upon Aaron. And it's also very reassuring for Aaron when we tell him people are in communication with the campaign. So we're going to look at the third message here. And this is the effect that's probably not noticed or not analysed by you, the public, or people in general. So you can see there, was Flynn's father involved in crime? Has Ronan Flynn been a dealer all his life? Did he ever work a 9-to-5 job? So obviously this is very hard-hitting statements against, again, it's just throwing a lot of stuff towards the Flynn family. Now, as far as I'm aware, PJ Flynn, hard-working, normal family man, as far as I'm aware. Has Ronan been a dealer all his life? Did he ever work a 9-to-5 job? I do believe Ronan worked. Ronan has had his own businesses, and obviously, because of the way these situations portray themselves, this is what the opinion the public may have of the Flynns. But it's very, very important to realise this opinion is not generated by us, the Brady family. This opinion and this narrative has been driven by and orchestrated entirely by this man here, Detective Mark Phillips. So when these questions are asked of the Flynn family, it's obviously important to realise where the cancer and where the evil stems from that generates people to ask these questions. And then when we take the question itself, as regards the Flynns and the Flynn family, PJ Flynn got involved in this altercation in a pub in the Cooley Peninsula, and obviously the altercation had got to do with his son Ronan. But from the statements from the people who are there that night that we have read, and from what we know about it and what we've read in the newspapers, it's obviously something was said about Ronan, and PJ Flynn stood up for his son, and the altercation took place. Why is this important? Well, it's very, very important because if we take the situation the Flynns now find themselves in with the Justice for Aaron Brady campaign, we have put out a lot of information there about Ronan. A lot of detail, and obviously we have to accuse Ronan of what we see. He told lies in a statement to save his own bacon in America, and he has told us that. And obviously, why did Ronan do that? Solely because of this man here and his clone, his lookalike, his wannabe, Paul Gill. So these are the men responsible for this ongoing situation where families and people's lives are absolutely wrecked and in turmoil because of the actions of a few. And then, as I said, our stories and jigsaw pieces fall into place. PJ Flynn stood up that night for his son to whatever, protect his son Ronan from what was being said, and in relation to the conversation went on with Tommy Eccles. Now, we've said a lot of stuff about Ronan. If any of it was incorrect, PJ Flynn would be at our door. And the Flynn family and Ronan Flynn would be at our door saying, you can't say this about us, it's lies. So therefore, like with the mainstream media, like with the Irish judicial system, like with Graham, Staines, all of them, Susan Hudson, like them all, the silence is absolutely deafening. If anything we were saying that was incorrect about Ronan, the Flynn family, in conjunction with these people here, would have every right to collaborate together and come at us, the Brady family. So again, the silence is deafening. The silence proves 100% without any doubt that everything we are saying is absolutely true and correct. And again, I'm accusing this man here of absolutely destroying the Flynn's lives and having their family's name and Ronan Flynn's pictures all over the internet because of this. It's not because of the Justice for Aaron Brady campaign, it's because what this man initiated. And the pressure he and Paul Gill, his clone and his wannabe, it's what on Ronan Flynn. The pressure, the coercion and the threats against Ronan Flynn was perpetrated by these evil persons here. And all this lays firmly at the feet of Detective Mark Phillips. And again, this in April last year, the lies, the omissions and the perjury, a great deal of it was got to do with the Flynn family. A great deal of it was got to do with the Flynn family. And we repeat once again, as at P. Cassidy said there, I hope the Flynns will come forward, redeem themselves by doing the right thing. I know it's very difficult to stand up and say I told lies against a man, but at some stage we hope that that is something the Flynns will do. So we just wanted to highlight this and the questions, how they raise this terrible and bring this tsunami of pressure upon the Flynn families, to all intents and purposes, are innocent in anything got to do with the murder and robbery at Lordship Credit Union, which is exactly the same for Aaron. But the knock-on effect that we call it collateral damage there is by the actions of these evil people is far-reaching. And we have numerous people whom Mark Phillips and others have tortured, particularly in America, and we're fully aware of Thomas O'Callaghan's scenario where Mark Phillips slipped him a sheet of paper and said, you can stay here in America if you want, if you tell lies against the Flynns. But Thomas O'Callaghan had the moral standing and the strength to say no. This man here, along with Matt Katsky, plucked that man from his life that he had built over 17 or 19 years in America and deported him. And he allowed Ronan, the drug dealer Maguire, the thief and layer Christopher Morton, and the paedophile apologist, the terrorist and the drug dealer Daniel Cahill all stayed in New York. And a young man, Thomas O'Callaghan, who had no criminal record whatsoever. He wasn't a legal immigrant, but he had built his own business, had people working for him. He was a very positive influence on his community, very heavily involved in the GAA, put tremendous hours into the clubs over there. And this man destroyed it all to save his own skin, him and Pat Murray, and the complete mess they made of the whole investigation. And again, always the bottom line and all the evil these people do reflects completely on the total disregard, the disrespect, and the absolute disgusting taste they leave to the memory of Detective Garda Adrian Donoghue, a man murdered in the line of duty, and allegedly these these people's friend and colleague. And again, if one word we were saying was incorrect, we would greatly be contradicted and admonished for besmirching the memory of Detective Guard Adrian Donoghue. And yet this fella here, every day, every minute, his actions have destroyed the memory of a man who lost his life in the line of duty. So thank you for watching. We're going to go into more detail on, obviously with Mark Phillips, the lies he's told in court. And we had Lokenstein on Thursday last, telling lies again about the Brady family and the campaign. The absolutely pathetic attempt or pathetic omissions by the mainstream media for not telling you, the Irish public, that I stood up in court and challenged Lokenstein for what he said about our family and friends. So what we have to do now is we'll break that down, and we are putting legal documents in place to request from the DPP that Lokenstein's put forward an explanation into his statements in court last Thursday. So we'll look at that in the next video. Please like, comment and share. We are being heavily censored and shadow banned, and we do need your help to get our story out there, because we will continue to do so. So thank you once again for watching, and we'll see you all in the next video. Thank you and take care.